and welcome to Lesson 13.2 in the Alice tutorial series. Lesson 13.2 is going to center again on world level methods. In fact, Lesson 13.2 is just an extension of the last lesson in which we were building a scene with some snow women and a snowman trying to get their attention. If you're wanting to follow along and you haven't already seen Lesson 13.1, when this video does start up, we're going to be halfway through the creation of a world. So if you haven't been following along and you want to get caught up, just watch Lesson 13.1 and you can get to the point where we are at to start this video. So let's go ahead and continue our world level method world building in Lesson 13.2. Going to my world level methods, create a new method, and this will be called Women React. And now I can program the women reacting here. Since I think Get Attention is done, you can always close these by right-clicking and closing World Get Attention and close World Tip Cap so that they're not open if I'm not actively working on them. If I want to see them again, I can simply grab them from the list, so Get Attention, drag it over here to my method window, and open the tab again. Since I'm only working on the women's reaction, I'm going to make sure that that's the only thing that's open. And so let's go ahead and just program this real quick so that we have the women reacting. You probably know how to do this, so we'll just speed it up a little bit here, and let's program the women reacting to the snowman. So there we go, we've got this animated, and you can see just real quickly what I did was I had the snowmen all turn to face one another again. They said some rude things about how annoying the snowman is and how they wish he'd go away, and then they turned to stare at him again. When I enable my entire animation now, you can see I disabled it during that to just test the women's reaction. We hit play, we have the snowman greeting the ladies. They're facing him. We have the tip of the cap method that runs. They'll turn to face one another, say something mean about the snowman, and then turn to look at him again. So that's where our animation stands right now. Going back to our storyboard right here, see that the snow women reacting and laughing at the snowman is finished. And so the last thing I need to do is program the snowman hanging his head and walking away. So let's head back to Alice and write the last part of our animation. And you should be an expert at this by now because you've probably done this 3 times if you've been following along. Let's go to the world, create our last method. It's going to be called Walk Away. And the snowman is going to walk away. So what we'll do is we'll have him turn around. We'll have him just turn around in a circle. So the snowman is going to turn to his left, half a revolution. We'll go ahead and make him blush a little bit as well, and maybe we'll have his head. So snowman, just his head, and we'll have that turn red, and that will kind of note his embarrassment. So we'll have snowman head turn red, and let's call walk away here in our my first method. So world methods, now we have walk away, so we'll drag walk away there, disable the other 3 so we don't have to watch them, and let's see what the embarrassment looks like. So his face turns red, and he turns kind of around. So right now it looks like he's facing the wrong direction, but after the other animations run, he'll actually be facing the ladies, so that turnaround should be okay. So let's have him lower his head. So we'll have head, turn, Let's try forward by about 0.1 revolutions and see what that looks like. So we hit play again. And that definitely looks like a dejected snowman. And finally, we'll have the snowman move forward. We'll move about 5 meters over the course of 5 seconds. So it's more of a slow walk. So he gets embarrassed, turns around, lowers his head, and then walks off. So that animation right there doesn't quite look right, but when we enable the other 3, so enable, enable, and enable, we should have the snowman oriented the correct way when the walk away is finally called. So let's see what our final animation looks like now. Go up and hit play. The snowman greets the ladies. They turn, he tips his cap. They say something rude about him. And he gets embarrassed, lowers his head, and walks off the screen. So that right there is how you use world level methods. Now the next video we'll talk about class level methods. Those are definitely going to be a little bit different, but kind of the same idea. The nice thing about this program now is when I look at my first method, it's not hundreds of lines of code that I'm trying to figure out what does what and where is he tipping his hat at and where is he lowering his head and what code makes the women turn. It's all neatly organized into these world level methods. So if I want to work on the snowman getting the attention of the ladies, all I need to do is grab the Get Attention tab, drag it over here, and everything I do here is centered around getting the attention of the ladies. So all of a sudden you can organize your programs a little bit better, and it makes complex animations a little bit simpler because you can break it down part by part. A lot of times it helps to do a little bit of a storyboard and write down some of the main things that are going to go on your scene, and then write a method to handle each one of those. So there you have it. That is the basics of a world level method. Let's go ahead and look at the lesson 13.1 challenge program, where you'll have the opportunity to create your own animations with world level methods. So to kick off the lesson 13.2 challenge program, I just wanted to show you the storyboard that I came up with. We're going to have a fight scene between a knight and an old man who I presume is a wizard. The knight is going to turn to face the wizard, point his sword in kind of an aggressive manner, and then the old man is going to cast a spell that's going to scare off the knight, and the knight will back off the screen. So those are the 3 methods that I wrote. In fact, I think I might have ended up with 4 methods after all was said and done as well, but this is the idea of the scene right here, and then I've added some sound effects from freesounds.org and some background music to try and create a more complete scene. So let's go ahead and head over to Alice and take a look what the lesson 13.2 challenge program will look like when all is said and done. Before we take a look at what the scene looks like while it's running, you can see here that I've got 3 different world level methods that I'm calling in order. Knight aggressive, which simulates the knight being aggressive towards the old man wizard, the wizard casting his magic spell to scare the knight, and having the knight back off the screen. So these 3 world level methods match the storyboard that I just showed you. In addition, you can see that I have some background music playing, so this is something I added to make the animation more complete. And it was a pretty cool background music sound that I found on freesounds.org. So after we play the animation, if this is something that you want to add to your world, you can do a search for Rising Tide on freesound.org, and you can get the same background music royalty free. So now let's go ahead and show the animation and what it will look like when it's finished. And there you have it. There's an example of the Lesson 13.2 challenge program. Make sure while you're doing this program that you animate it using world level methods. The goal here is to, in my first method, have only calls to world level methods and nothing coded directly in the method itself. So as you saw in this example right here, just make sure that you're creating world level methods to kind of organize the different scenes into some sort of reasonable manner. Now, as always, if you have any questions, if this isn't working for you, or there's something going on that you can't understand, certainly leave those questions in the comments and we'll help you out any way that we can. The ultimate goal is to make sure that everybody is not only able to recreate these scenes, but understand why the scenes are working the way that they are. I'd like to thank everyone for their support of this series. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day.